Welcome family, this is the Velvet Locks with another wonderful video for you today. Well, I got a message from one of you ladies mentioning you're in a narcissist relationship currently, I think, from what I read. And this person is badgering you to have a child. And it's to the point where you've conceived before but ended up miscarrying because of all of the stress that you've been into. And because of your miscarriage, and I guess you're, having a hard time to conceive again, that this person is really stressing you out completely. And he's belittling you. He's, just knocking you down with his words. And according to your letter, you're mentioning that you really believe that if you have this baby, that this is going to change your relationship and it's going to get better. And I felt this was a wonderful video to actually put on the channel for everybody and whomever might be in your situation too. My advice to you was not to get pregnant. Now, I look at everything as a blessing in disguise because, honest to goodness, if you're in a narcissistic relationship, there's nothing good that's going to come out of that. As you mentioned in your letter, you mentioned about how bad he's been treating you, how he's been knocking you down, how he feels as though, no man is going to want you because you already have 2 kids. I mean, so much dysfunction, just so much. And honestly, you truly believe that if you get pregnant, that this is going to change your relationship and change the way he thinks about you. Baby girl, it is not going to get better. It is not going to change his ways. It's not going to change the way he feels about you. My ex-narcissist, for example, wanted to have children as well. I was menopausal, so that was my blessing in disguise, that it was going to be harder for me to actually have a child. But thank goodness it never happened, because the track records of this narcissist, and I'm not sure about other ones, but the track record of this narcissist was not one that you wanted to actually have a baby with. He was not the type of man that you wanted to have a child with, because his track record in the past was he had children and he ran and left them. Okay? He had 3 by one person he was married to. He ran off and left that one for somebody else, whom then he got pregnant for, and then afterwards he ran off and left that one. Okay, which when he met me, he kept that last one as a secret. So I never knew that he had a 4th child. Then after the relationship, getting confronted by his exes, okay, his exes, and then hearing the stories about how he was trying so hard for them to get pregnant. He was really pushing it. Mind you, he had 2 women at the same time that he was trying to get pregnant for him. You really got to understand that although the intentions may sound good, narcissists are not consistent. They're not team players. And I truly, strongly believe that if you were to get pregnant by this guy, he would leave you the same way he's putting you down. A child is not going to change your situation. If anything, it's only going to be a short-lived celebration, because narcissists fall out of love very easy. They change very easy. They move forward very easy. And if children wasn't enough to hold down my ex-narcissist, I doubt very much that it's going to be enough to hold him down to you. Because first of all, he's not respecting you. He's not showing you love and admiration. And that is not a healthy environment to even want to bring a child into. So honestly, your mom gave you advice and told you not to do it. And I honestly, truly agree with mom and believe that that would be the worst thing for you. Okay? The same advice I gave to my ex-narcissist's side chick. Okay? His side chick. And when we had a conversation, she mentioned that she was living at home with her mother. Okay? The 23-year-old. Living at home with her mother, and this man who is twice her age is convincing her to have a child. Mind you, they're not married. They've only just met each other, maybe months into the relationship, and already he's trying to badger her to have a child. Narcissists use objects as a way to control you, a way to hold on to you, a way to put a foothold into your life. Now, I'm not sure if you mentioned if this was a marriage or not, but regardless of the fact, if you haven't had children yet for this person, and he's already showing you that he's a toxic person, the last thing that's going to help that relationship is a child. And if anything, you're going to end up having 3 children and raising them all on your own, okay? You've also mentioned in your letter that he's also started talking to somebody else. So I highly suggest you get yourself together. That's number 1. Get yourself together, because this person is not going to treat you the way you want him to treat you. Even your parents, your mother is seeing that same thing. So this goes for anybody in this situation when you're dealing with the narcissist. They may want to encourage you, push you, stress you out to have children. Mine did the same thing too. But had I had a child with this person and I still wouldn't have been together. A child is not enough to hold down a relationship. If it's a toxic relationship, it only makes it even more stressful when you have children involved. So just know this much, that regardless of what that person is telling you, he wants you to have a child so bad, and then the second you get pregnant and you miscarriage, he's badgering you, he's blaming you, he's just knocking you down even worse. That's not a person that you want to raise a child with, okay? So just know this much, baby girl. If you did get pregnant, or you do get pregnant from this person, somewhere down the line, you're going to be raising that child by yourself, because narcissists tend to move forward. They tend to move on fast. So for those of you who are being pressured into having children, you know, whether you're in a marriage or just dating a narcissist, honestly, that's a recipe for disaster. So if you haven't had a child yet and you're dealing with a narcissist, that's not a good thing. That is not going to work. Okay? Not going to work. Like I mentioned, my ex-narcissist has 4 kids. And he ran away from all 4 of them when it was time for him to do his part and help out in raising these kids. So based on his track record and hearing all and doing my research, you're going to be stuck. Okay? You're going to be stuck. And one good thing about the side chick, one of the side women that he was seeing, was that she wasn't pregnant. Okay? She wasn't pregnant. So thank God for her that she didn't get pregnant for him, because he disappeared on her. Okay? So had she have gotten pregnant and believed his lies, she would have been stuck raising that child by herself. Okay? So just know this much. If God didn't bless you with that child yet, there could be a reason for it. So don't push yourself and pressure yourself into having a child when it could be God trying to show you that he is not the person for you to have a child with. Alright? I pray that this video opens your eyes and sheds some light on your situation, and for you to really sit back and really think about what you're trying to do. Because if you're crying now and you're sad now and there is no hope in your spirit right now, as per how that narcissist is making you feel, just know how much worse you're going to feel being a mother raising 3 children by yourself. Alright? Alright, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. If any of you got any questions, concerns, situations that you want to bring forth, you can either list them down below, or you can send them to my email address, which I'm also going to list down here as well. And I thank you so much, you guys, for really encouraging me to continue making these videos, because so many of you are going through it, and you really do need to hear that big auntie, you know, that big sis type of advice that I can only share with you based on my experience, okay? So I thank you so much, you guys, for encouraging me to continue with these videos. And as long as you give me a topic or you're going through something, I can definitely shed some light on that, all right? So thank you again, and until the next video, you guys, I will see you then.